Hey there, let's dive into the fascinating world of Azure Functions and master the intricacies for any IT professional who's passionate about scaling, real-time data, and serverless computing. You know how the digital frontier is rapidly evolving, right? With companies continually innovating and competing for the best in customer experiences and backend services, there's a relentless push towards scalable, agile, and efficient computing solutions. Enter Azure Functions, Microsoft's ace in the hole, especially when it comes to building event-driven, serverless architectures for modern applications. So, buckle up as we explore Azure Functions, a journey that's as exciting as the destination promises to be. At its core, Azure Functions is a serverless compute service that allows you to initiate code whenever, wherever, and however an input event occurs. Think HTTP requests, new entries in databases, or timers firing. No more server management worries, your functions run independently, and scaling? That's taken care of too, as Azure Functions auto-scales to accommodate the demand. For IT professionals hungry for serverless solutions that make real-time data processing and IoT seamless, there's no better playground. Now, let's get technical and not just stop at the surface level. Understanding Azure Functions' architectural depth is crucial. Picture a distributed system built on top of Azure's backend. Events trigger individual functions that run independently in a highly isolated environment. That's Azure Functions for me. But what makes this setup superpowered is that it seamlessly integrates with other Azure services, such as Service Bus, Event Hubs, and queues, facilitating easy communication within your cloud-based enterprise. When you decide to leverage this platform, two architectural choices come into play: hot path and warm path. The hot path involves your function firing hotly in response to an immediate trigger, like a user submitting a form on your website. The warm path sees your function triggered upon activity in Azure services, which may not happen as often as the hot path. Understanding the trade-offs between these paths is crucial to design efficient, cost-effective, and responsive systems. Speaking of cost, Azure Functions offers two pricing models: consumption and premium. Consumption pricing, where you are billed based on execution time and resources used, keeps expenses in check. Premium, your premium plan for costlier applications with specific reliability and performance needs that might not always be met by consumption, offers higher upfront prices for the features you need. Balancing cost and functionality while navigating these pricing models is an essential skill for any IT professional working on the Azure platform. But let's not forget the programming languages that play well with Azure Functions. With support for C#, JavaScript, Python, and Java, developers can choose what works best for them. However, keep in mind, if your company's culture leans more towards Java, you might find Python, particularly in serverless frameworks, offers a smoother, more integrated experience. Now, let's talk advanced scenarios, like using durable functions. In scenarios where you have complex event processing with multiple steps and dependencies between functions, durable functions shine. It introduces activity triggers, akin to workflow patterns, making Azure Functions incredibly powerful. Think distributed workflow processing and building intricate microservices architectures. Yet, a robust mastery of Azure Functions goes beyond simple coding. As IT professionals, mastering authentication, secure access, and integrating with other Azure services is essential. Integrating Azure Active Directory, using Azure Key Vault for securely managing sensitive information, and accessing Azure Data Solutions, these knowledge areas strengthen your ability to design comprehensive, scalable applications. Oh, and debugging is never the most enjoyable part, but getting debug logs with the Azure portal or Visual Studio Code is part of the art. Understanding execution flow and troubleshooting code hiccups is critical. And when you have code running in the cloud, where the error can come down to a misplaced comma or faulty logic, debugging skills evolve differently, often calling for innovative techniques like custom log levels. Troubleshooting alone isn't enough, though. Testing with different scenarios, edge cases, and stress tests helps ensure resilience. Automating unit and integration tests with Azure Functions Test Bench or Pester bolsters reliability, keeping services running smoothly and maintaining the trust of your end users. Beyond coding fundamentals and testing, deploying and monitoring your Azure Functions become the bread and butter of this journey. Understanding Azure CLI for deployment and Azure App Service Editor for Visual Studio Visual Code for writing functions is part of this, along with using Azure Service Bus, Event Hubs, and queues for efficient messaging patterns, your applications will thrive. Lasting the longest are continuous education and industry trends, which always keep you a step ahead. With Microsoft's commitment to Azure Functions and the broader serverless movement, this platform only gets smarter, more integrated, and user-friendly. And as an IT professional, immersing yourself in this evolution and contributing your knowledge to Microsoft's community is not just part of the job, it's an exciting venture, an endless learning experience. I hope this deep dive has piqued your curiosity about Azure Functions, giving insight into not just the how but also the why. Whether you are tackling enterprise-grade applications, back-end infrastructures for startups, or IoT implementations, Azure Functions stands as your reliable partner in the vast digital ecosystem. And now, as we draw this exploration to a close, I want to invite you to visit neeraj.qzz.io for more tech insights, trends, and tutorials. There, you'll find a hub of knowledge and inspiration to fuel your continued learning journey. And don't forget to subscribe to TechLab to get the first-hand updates on all things tech. Till next time, as you navigate the ever-evolving realm of serverless technology and Azure Functions, enjoy the journey of discovery. Because, really, exploring new horizons is what brings our best work to life. Happy coding! Remember folks, always keep your eyes on the skies, but never underestimate the power of groundbreaking tech on these Azure Functions frontiers.